Alright, party people. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. Me. Let me make sure. Yeah, alright, we got the mic rock and rolling. Let's get some tunes fired up here. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Hope you're having a good one. My trash just got picked up, and for some reason, the trash truck on my street decided to make a complete and total mess today. Normally, I would blame the wind, but I'm starting to think uh, the trash guys are not having a good day today. Let's just say that. Little sidebar there. Yeah, happy Tuesday, y'all. Hope you're having a good one. Had a great Quai Nation space today with the community. So much is happening in the Discord, folks. So much is going on. I got a French bulldog sleeping right next to me right now, snoring up a storm. Hopefully that's not too annoying. I don't have the heart to kick him out of the office right now. Him, her, I should say. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Anywho, we're about to dive back into the Dow launcher, folks. Cheers. For those of you new around here, check the pin tweet on my profile for some choice words on why Quai Network is one of the best in the business. And make sure you signed up for Kipper.money. Boop, that's what I was pointing at, that QR code up there. Come say hi in the chat and earn some Quai just for doing so. Shout out to 5 of you airdrop farmers. You're on the list officially. You will not be earning Quai today unless you can prove to me you're all unique individuals. Haven't really figured that one out, but you're incentivized to do so because if you can, I will pay each and every one of you 100 Quai. Yeah, that's the deal there. We gotta get the windows populated here, don't we? Let's start here. Go Chrome, and we'll select. There it is. The soap dashboard, the beautiful, beautiful soap dashboard. We'll throw that up there. Drag that down. Christopher had a banger tweet yesterday, y'all. He's been doing these weekly analysis of soap. So let's peek that real quick. I'll zoom in a little bit. The month-over-month review and the week 14. Yeah, markets are kind of down right now. So that being said, guys, keep in mind when you're looking at this soap dashboard, it is current price compared to token counts. So let's just check in on the hash rate right now. Yeah, sentiment is low, but nothing beats real sustainable revenue thanks to mining. So a lot of support over here at Quai Network, which I absolutely love to see. I was looking at what to mine the other day too. Focus on the ASICs real quick. Oh, interesting. This is a first, y'all. Wait, what's the dealio here? Oh, look at these numbers. Yeah, that's interesting. What is the Bitcoin price today? This is the first. I've never seen Quai not the most profitable token to mine. Interesting. Well, we'll dig into this. What is the Bitcoin price today? Oh, it's up on the 24-hour? Ouch. Ouch, 67. Yeesh. What's the... Did the hash rate plummet? Well, hash rate didn't plummet. Interesting. Maybe it's just the Quai price. Interesting. Well, we made a note for the team. What's y'all's analysis? Is what to mine? Let's get a screenshot of this real quick. What's my key here? Print screen? There we go. Yeah, we'll copy this. Drop it over here. Close that. All right. So that's that. Regardless, guys, it's always good time to build. It's always a good time to ship products. So that's what we'll be doing today. Meanwhile, guys, like always, come by, say hi in chat. I'll show you guys how easy this is to get tipped with Kipper.money. Boom. Now Kate O'Neill is not quite signed up yet, but we'll hook him up. We'll hook him up. There we go. There we go. Kate O'Neill earning a bag. Little does he know. Boom. 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 Oh man, I'm tipping too fast. Let's try this one. Boom. There we go. Crypto Flynn. Hooking him up. Denvium. Irit. These are the stream farmers. I like your posts, but you're not earning 5 Quai without proving your uniqueness. Crypto sovereignty. Haven't heard of this one before. Getting the tips out, folks. Getting the tips out. Getting those tips out. Santiago knows what's up. I think Wystand has dropped his Caspa K from his handle. That's interesting. Man, Kate is going off. We need to engage with Cade, guys. Interesting. Well, we'll keep our eye on Cade. Let's yeah, let's check our notifications real quick. All right, you guys rock. Thanks for retweeting the space. Let's check in on the stats here. Who are the top tippers? King. Christopher's also killing it. Man, Hardy Gallery putting up numbers. Love to see it. Who are the top creators right now? Ebo. Good work, Ebo. Guys, we want to make sure you're following Ebo. This guy's cooking some stuff. That's for sure. Let's check top posts. A Galliarept. Shout out to Galliarept. Let's peek the stats. Boom! There we go. Christopher and I putting in work. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. Alright, folks. We are working on the DAO launcher. So let me get... It's actually cooking something right now. Let me pull up VS Code. There it is. There it is. Alright. Shrink this down. Throw this up here. Boom. Alright. So VS Code is cooking on something real quick. We made some changes to the poster schema. So right now it's working through. Basically, we made a DAO announcement and then realized we don't have a good way of expiring those DAO announcements. Let me turn down the volume in my headphones a little bit right now. There we go. That's a little better. So, while it is cooking on that, let's check in on the actual DAO launcher here. DAO ships. Here we go, folks. There it is. Yoink. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. I want to zoom in a little bit here, so you guys can see what we're actually looking at. So yeah, this is a DAO announcement. We worked through a few issues yesterday. So, and then overnight we actually worked through a bunch of security issues and stability issues. So ultimately we did an audit of the entire front end, found, you know, what is this, 12 security issues, 11 stability issues, 6 scalability issues, 6 efficiency issues, 8 succinctness issues. So we worked through all of those. There's still some informational items left over. Doesn't look like those were documented. That's interesting. Not sure what those are. If we click down here, resolved findings. Yeah, okay. So, meanwhile, we're making some updates to our poster schema. The balance we're striking here with DAOs is what information needs to be on chain, and what information is better stored in like a DAO's website or their discussion forum, maybe even their Discord server, stuff like that. So when we look at the UI here, you know, the user interface needs to have enough information for people to participate in the proposal process and references so they can go get more details when needed, right? So at first glance, you know, you want to know what DAO you're actually looking at, right? So the ability to post a DAO's profile on chain, I think is fair. I mean, ideally, I mean, ultimately, just having the DAO's address is not enough information, right? If you're a member of more than one DAO, or you're trying to find the DAO that you want to look at, you're going to need the name. So having that DAO's name is super important. We have room for a description here, but ultimately, you know, the ability for a DAO, excuse me, to point users to additional information like docs, forum, GitHub, Discord, Twitter profile, their website, maybe a Telegram channel. That's where a majority of the DAO's content and discussions will be held, is outside this platform. Now, if we move into proposals, you can see here, you know, we want to know the overall, like, what this proposal is, right? Just having a proposal number is not enough, right? So the ability to give a proposal a title and a brief description is super important. You also want to see what the proposal actually does, okay? But the actual, like, meat of the proposal, or the discussion about said proposal will not live on this app. So while we have it baked into the schema, there should be a link here for users to go find out more information about a proposal, and actually engage in a discussion about said proposal. So that's coming. We'll add a link here for proposals. And then the other thing that we added, that, you know, could be super useful, or is people basically signaling why they voted in a certain direction, yes or no. Okay, now ultimately that could be in the proposal's discussion, right? But I think this is valuable enough that you'll want to be able to put on chain why you voted one direction or another. This is super important, especially for delegates, right? So if you have delegates, you know, individuals in your DAO that other people have delegated their votes to, it'll be incredibly valuable for them to be able to broadcast to everybody why they voted in a particular direction, right? So if we look back at this proposal here, we were testing out these things. It's not. Here's a good one. Okay, so these three members are sharing why they voted. That's going to be really important. So while this probably doesn't scale, or at least this UI doesn't scale for a DAO with 1,000 users sharing why they voted, it's not required. But delegates will want the ability to record their reasoning in a place that's immutable, aka the blockchain. So that's super important, but really the meat of the proposal is going to be off-chain, right? The full-length proposal document, the discussion about the proposal preceding sponsorship or voting, all that is going to be in a separate place outside of this app. So we'll get that link added in here. I think that's actually what, yeah, that's what we're cooking right now. So we'll test that out here in a second. And then members. So having an avatar and a name associated with a member, especially for delegates, is super useful because then you can reference their on-chain voting power to their discussions off-chain. So if you're tracking discussions off-chain and you want to know how much voting power somebody has, you can quickly look at the DAO app and see what their voting power is. Okay. Treasury, not much happening in here. It's pretty straightforward. Navigators as well. Navigators will have metadata associated with them. Really basic, just description of what the proposer or the creator of the navigator had intended its usage to be, or whatever they want to associate. There could be multiple navigators associated with a DAO with different configurations, right? So just understanding the navigator type, right? Like if you have 5 different onboarder navigators with different prices, right? Those could be different prices for different individuals, right? So you'll want to call that out in a navigator metadata. And then lastly, let me actually look at the list of poster events here. Profile, member profile, voting reason, navigator metadata. Yeah, so DAO announcements. Okay, so this is another one where, again, the meat of the content is not going to live in this app. But it is going to be really important for DAOs to be able to signal to people who are looking at this screen that there is additional content that they need to read, right? So we have, I think it's different severity ratings here. Let me look at the announcement. Yeah. So info, warning, or critical, right? So if there is a priority proposal that anybody who comes to this DAO page needs to get information on, we should let the DAO post that information here. So that is super useful. Again, the meat of this content, excuse me, will be a link to some additional content, perhaps a discussion off chain. If there is a a critical vote that needs to happen, or a change, major, configuration change, or just ecosystem change within the DAO, their ability to actually post that announcement here is going to be super critical for people who interact with the DAO this way. So you want to signal any DAO important related info on all the platforms that the DAO members engage with. And that's it, folks. I mean, it's really just, what is this, six different events that DAOs can create on chain, that are stored on chain, that we can present here in this format. But ultimately, each one of those should link to more content, more meaty, interesting content. So that's the deal with that right now. So we just got done cooking that, it looked like. We removed the treasury label, that wasn't needed. Updated announcement schema, perspect, updated announcement UI, and proposal details field now includes type plus discussion URL per spec. Cool beans. Cool beans. Alright, so we'll test that out here in a second. What up, Ebo? Welcome to the chat, man. It's good to hear your voice today on the space. Glad you can make it. Hope you're having a good one, man. Thanks for swinging by. Oh man, I gotta log in to Kipper again. We'll get you hooked up with some Quai, man. Looking forward to the product you're building. Lasagna with honey? Never even heard of that, man. What? Lasagna with honey? I mean, I believe you. I just, when I think lasagna, sweet is not the first thing that comes to my mind, but hey, maybe I'm missing out. Was it like cheese? Like a cheese lasagna with honey? That kind of sounds good. When I think lasagna, I think like tomato sauce and meat. Lots and lots of meat. But cheese lasagna with honey? That sounds good. You're putting honey on everything, it sounds like. Dang, okay. Shoot, man, that must be some really good honey. Let's see here. Alright. Yeah, it's good honey, okay. Heck yeah. Okay, so let's see here. We need to update this announcement. So let's make sure we're logged into our wallet here. Oh man. Come on. There we go. Alright. Let's make sure we are Bob. Bob is in the game. Alright, let's make a new announcement proposal. Announcement. Update. Announcement with expiration date. Current announcement expires never. Testing DAO functionality. This is a test DAO. Do not join. That's the announcement here. Link URL, nice. Example.com, test DAO. This is an info. And let's make sure. Ooh, can we turn this into a calendar selector? Let's try this. Can we turn the announcement expiration into a calendar time selector? Pop-up calendar. Let's see if we can get this fixed real quick. What kind of mic do I use? I'm using the Razer Black Shark. I think it's called Black Shark V2. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Razer Black. Yeah, Razer Black Shark V2. This is what I'm rocking here. This bad boy. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to click on. This bad boy. That's what I'm rocking. Without this little... Obviously we're Bluetooth right now. Yeah, whoa. Oh, holy cow. This thing is cheap as hell. On Target. Look at that. Oh, this is wired. That's why. That's why. Where's the Bluetooth one? Oh, that's also wired. What? I feel like I paid a lot more than 40 bucks for it. Razer Black Shark V2. Man, maybe I got gypped. This one. Yeah, this is the one I snagged. The wireless one. I think I got it for the PlayStation, that's why. PS3, Razer Black Shark. PS3. Who plays on a PS3 these days? I got a PS5 Pro, boys. Yeah. Yeah, this one, 80 bucks. But yes, banger freaking headset. I really really like it. The battery lasts for freaking ever too. Lasts for freaking ever. Let's see if this. There we go. Alright, so we'll have this expire. We'll make this expire tomorrow at 3 o'clock my time. Boom. Sign that message. Vote yes. Vote submitted. Ebo says he still has his PS4. Haven't played anything except MC on the PC for the last 2 to 3 years. What's MC? Minecraft. Minecraft. That's funny. I should have done that one. Right on, man. I hear that game's a blast. I honestly haven't played it. I don't do as much gaming as I used to. Clearly, we got a lot going on over here. But the last one I really put time into was Elden Ring. That game was a blast. Yeah, that game was a blast. Alright, so Bob voted yes. Proposal needs updating. Let's switch to Alice here. Alice will vote yes. Every proposal should have an expiration. There we go. Sign that. Dang. Ebo's studying and working and building on Quai. Guy's freaking cooking. What kind of internship do you got, man? What kind of internship you got? No, let's see here. Is Carol even a member anymore? No, she's not a member. Earl is a member though. Except I think he should delegate his votes to Bob. Delegate. Earl doesn't have enough votes to mean much. Boom. There we go. Bob's got a delegate now. Nice. Nice. Alright. So that's the DAO functionality. Let's see here. What else did we want to update? Oh, we need to test a proposal with a link. So let's get Carol back in here. Copy address, add back Carol. She's the bee's knees. We'll give her 50 shares. Here we go. So we have a discussion link. Okay, https example.com discussion rationale. We have to make a tribute because I don't have any voting power. So we'll add one Quai to the vault in order to submit this proposal. Boom. Proposal submitted. I can cancel my proposal before it's sponsored, but we're gonna switch to Bob and we're gonna sponsor said proposal. Sign. Nice. Here's the link. View discussion. There we go. There we go. Alright, Bob voted. No, he's sponsored. So this should update. There we go. Vote yes. Nice. Alright, meanwhile, the other thing we need to work on. Let me check with the contracts real quick. Okay, going back to the current navigator contracts. Do whitelists have to be added at deployment, or can they be reconfigured later? Ebo interns at a digital identity company, one that revolutionized digital identities for multiple countries, and with one product, all of Europe. Oh, nice, nice. So you're helping the Europeans spy on their citizens? Revolutionize is a strong word there, man. Digital identity scares the crap out of me. Testing. That being said, it's definitely some mandatory utility in the age of the internet, no? I just, my gut tells me it's not going to be used for non-nefarious purposes. Another test vote. It's mostly for businesses who go through taxes and stuff. Oh, okay, so business digital identity. You didn't dox yourself, man. Don't worry about it. No sweat, no sweat. It's a weird world we're living in these days, guys. It's a weird world. On the one hand, we have given up way too much data and rights already. On the other hand, we have some pretty amazing capabilities and tools as individuals. So you win some, you lose some. Unfortunately, oh man, this is ready to be processed. All right, let's process our announcement. Unfortunately, these tools have not been democratized very well. But that's just the nature of the evolution of technology. Nice. Okay. So this has been updated. Cool. Defeated. Why is this defeated? Why is that defeated? Okay. Why was that defeated? I just processed a proposal. What is this, proposal 10? It says defeated. But the indexer says... Oh, we didn't achieve quorum. Man, we needed more voters. Okay, well, we'll try that one again. We needed more voters. But this is not accurate. Okay. So let's say that real quick. We're reporting quorum wrong on the proposal page. Remember, this is in basis points, so the following is actually 40%. Excuse me. Even says, yep, 100%. I personally think for voting in governments, there should be specific wallets on chain with digital identities linked to them that can't accept or send anything except their vote, leading to one wallet per person for voting. You know, this is something, you know, zero knowledge is actually like really good for. I don't know if it's wallets, or if it has to be on chain, but you should be able to prove your identity, or at least your voting rights, without giving up all your information. There we go. That's better. Okay, we should probably also track quorum progress on top of voting progress. Currently, it's not clear if the proposal has achieved quorum or how many votes away from quorum it is. Ebo's the goat of Twitch chat. Yeah, man, weird world, right? So like, we've effectively given Google, Apple, Microsoft all of our fucking data, Facebook, X. Now we get a lot of value for that data individually, right? The ability to communicate in real time, share information. We don't have to worry about data storage or, you know, disaster recovery or uptime or anything like that. So they actually provide a lot of value. But they're also profiting on the back of all the content that we create and all the data that we generate. And ultimately, at a certain point, they even start charging us for those services. So I do believe, you know, individuals are the actual product for those. Oh man, we got to 99% of quorum on this one. Let's check this one. Quorum has been reached on this one. Okay, so let's process this proposal here. Now, digital identity is something that we absolutely need, because like if we put ourselves in the shoes of any service provider, they'll want to make sure that, you know, their platform or services are not being abused by bots, AI, or what have you, or they might want to provide like different levels of service to different, you know, different service for an AI bot versus like a human being, right? And that will allow you to build a much more efficient platform, right? Like you're not shipping the same user experience to an AI agent that you are shipping to a human being. That being said, what we want to avoid is people using digital identity to conduct surveillance, censorship, you name it. Now, Carol's a member. Look at that. How do you prevent that? It's a very good question. Very good question. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? I think, you know, you need to consider where censorship is a risk and where it's not. Things like freedom of speech, you know, a free and fair economy. Those are places where censorship gets really, really risky. Protecting children from like adult content, like that makes sense. Um, but you know, censoring people uh, in like their ability to actually like spend their funds or get unfairly taxed, or you know, actually there's platforms today that are um, using your data to do price manipulation. So airlines, classic case, right? You search for a flight like more than once, your price is going up relative to somebody who, you know, hasn't searched for that same flight more than 2 times. So that is just straight fucking horseshit. But yeah, no, use a VPN when searching for flights, and then you know, do your purchase without one, and you'll see a huge difference in prices. They were doing it for like apartment rentals here in America. Now they got sued for that one because it was basically one platform that all the apartment buildings use to price based on the applicant's information. But that kind of stuff, like that just ain't gonna fly, right? So digital identity, double-edged sword, double-edged sword. All right, we gotta get. That's cool. It says defeated. But now we have more details, right? We can see that quorum was reached. Let's do another. Let's do another announcement proposal. Update announcement. Please, old announcement needs to go. Do not join this DAO. This is a test DAO only. It'll be in info. We'll have a link. DAO.com/announcement. We'll set an expiration again of April 1st at 1500. Submit proposal. Alright, this is going to be cool. Let's see how this quorum updates here. I think we are acting as Alice. Yeah, we're Alice right now. Boom. Vote yes. There we go. Sign. Old announcement needs to go. Sign. Cool. We're at 45% of quorum. That's cool to see. Let's switch to Bob. Bob needs to vote yes. Skip. We're at 92% quorum now. We need Carol to vote. Carol, do you have enough votes to pass this proposal? Skip. Skip. Reached. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. What up, Double D? Wolf in the house as well. Good to see you guys. Let's see. I need to get you guys tipped. That's what I need to do. I think we hooked up Evo. Did we hook up Evo? Evo, did I tip you, man? Somebody tell me. Why cannot? Why is it so hard to find Evo? My Quai search is broken. My X search is broken. Oh, alright, well, too late. I know. Like, I'm literally searching Ebo Quai and you're not coming up. That's stupid. That's stupid. Double D in the house. What up, Double D? Man, my search is just broken, period. I can't find anybody today. There you are. There you are. Get you tipped. And Wolf in the house. Oh, guys, I need to update the docs. We gotta get CoinEx added to the list of centralized exchanges here. Thanks for swinging by, Wolf. Really appreciate you. Really appreciate you. We're just building this DAO launcher, man. Making good progress here. All right. We gotta get CoinEx added to the decentralized exchange list. So, Wolf, Agalia repped. What was it? Who else? I think Keyshore even uses CoinEx sometimes. So, don't want peeps to miss out on the opportunity here. If they prefer CoinEx, definitely want them to know that we are tradable on Quai network. Might need the help. Just kidding. But yeah, so we want to see that over in docs.qu.ai. And that's going to be in use Quai here. Where can you anonymously buy USDT with fiat? That's a good question. That's a good question. Here. Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so let me fire up. The docs repo real quick. My docs. Over to GitHub. Go to github.com. There we go. If the taxman sees this, his name is John. Alright, let's discard this commit here. See, you guys see this? On April 24th, we'll start using GitHub Copilot interaction data for AI model training. Well, good thing I don't use Copilot. Alright, git pull rebase rebased. Let's see here. Learn use Quai. Here we go. Kraken. Let's add. I think it's CoinEx. Capital C, capital E. Is that what it's called? CoinEx. Yeah, capital C, capital E. Got it. Let's pull this back up. Quai USDT. Double D's says he uses Copilot. It's gonna have to shut it down. Yeah, GitHub's gonna be training off you. I mean, what's it hurt, right? Like, I don't know. They're already freaking training based off of all the other AIs you use. Not that that's a good thing, but popular global exchange available. Alright. Just added CoinEx to the list of sexes in use Quai.mdx. I need to update the other languages JPKOCN to reflect this change. All right, we'll get CoinX added to the list and docs y'all. We'll get that taken care of. Oops, that's not what we wanted. There we go. Okay. Meanwhile, let's. So I told you guys about this yesterday, but I noticed it's not enabled on the user interface. So we need to get this feature added. Basically, for onboarder navigators and the ERC20 navigators, you have the option to whitelist certain addresses, right? So if you only want to sell shares to a specific set of addresses, specific set of individuals for a specific price, you have that option. Um, Again, like I said earlier, you could have, ERC20 navigators for USDT and say, these set of individuals get shares at this price, these set of individuals get shares at this price, everybody else can buy shares at a different price. Totally possible. Um, but we haven't enabled that in the user interface yet, so we need to do that. Absolutely need to do that. Okay. So the navigators have the ability to whitelist addresses at configuration deployment. We need to support this in the navigator deployment flow. Inspect the contracts to understand how this is done and plan an implementation via front-end developer and security engineer agents. Go, Cloud, go, go. You can do it. All right, we need a. All right, let's process this announcement proposal here. Do you think there's a need for an on-chain version of X Reddit on Quai? That's a tough question, man. Have you heard of Farcaster? Let me just ask that. Have you heard of Farcaster? Okay. FYI, Farcaster is the Ethereum ecosystem's attempt at an on-chain social media platform. The short story is storing images and video on-chain is not a good idea. It's not what blockchains were built for. Additionally, it's highly dependent on indexers, which is not a problem. That's not the issue. It's just the user experience to go like completely on chain is not possible. To be clear, we're using indexers for DAO ships and Quai Vault as well. Now, can you still interact with DAO ships and Quai Vault without an indexer? Yes, absolutely. Will you have visibility into all the historical data related to your vault or your DAO? Not easily. It's possible, but it'll take you a very long time to load that up in a browser. So not recommended. It's not a great user experience. But ultimately, yeah, pictures and video, live streams, like that content doesn't go on a blockchain. It's not worth it at the end of the day. So imagine asking like every node on a blockchain to store like a 4 gigabyte video. It just doesn't make sense. There are like enhancements that blockchains can enable for social media. One of the ones we talked about a lot while launching Kipper.money is ultimately what you're doing is you're creating an opportunity for an economically driven algorithm, right? So, um, to kind of walk through this briefly, right? Today, when I have Kipper installed, I'm seeing the top 3 tipped posts, right? Now we're just showing you the top 3. Imagine if you had a tab up top here that showed you all the Kipper tipped posts, right? Yeah, that's you. um, so when the chain has references to content on a social media platform, you could introduce a net new algorithm that's probably a lot more rewarding than the advertiser driven algorithm today, right? So outside of the For You tab, like all of this content is algorithmically driven to me, right? So clearly, I got a lot of Quai peeps in my feed, um, but I have a lot of other content that is driven by an algorithm that's trying to maximize profit for advertisers, right? Which is not ideal. It creates the wrong incentives for um, for content on social media, right? You get a lot of freaking AI slop and other stuff, right? So the idea of referencing content through something like tips gives you the opportunity to build your own algorithm on top of a social media network, right? And that sounds like just a much better world. People like seeing the content that people are actively engaging with, with their tokens, with their money, putting their money where their mouth is. Real content creators generating real value for viewers is the stuff that's going to get elevated. Um, so that's the meta I would like to explore in the future. But hosting all the content, like the pictures and the images, um, doesn't make a lot of sense for a blockchain. Yeah, man, we were looking at it earlier, Ebo. You're tipping hardcore, man. Both you and the Hardy Gallery. Tipping hard. I think I saw you in this list down here. Bam. Big Kipper Tipper in the house. Double D's asking, that being said, are decentralized cloud services like Flux not ideal for blockchains either? I don't know much about Flux, but what I'll say is the blockchain is not good for like storing files, like storing large. You don't want to store large files on a blockchain. Now, can you build markets for storage and streaming and video and pictures and articles? Can you build a marketplace for that on a blockchain? Yes, absolutely. Right. So if you look at something like what you have IPFS, which is a decentralized file storage network. Okay, not a blockchain. All right, to be clear, IPFS is not a blockchain. It is a protocol for decentralized storage. However, it's integrated with Filecoin. Okay, to help create an incentive for people to participate in the IPFS network, right? So if you're running an IPFS node and you want to, pay your bills for running that IPFS infrastructure, Filecoin is a blockchain that can, be used to create that market. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. So it's a marketplace. Filecoin is the marketplace. IPFS is the storage layer, right? Kind of how like NFTs store their images on IPFS and then they build marketplaces on the blockchain. You could say, you know, similar relationships could exist for cloud compute, cloud storage, all those things. So, blockchains are decentralized ledgers, and you know, are not. In my opinion, I'll just like state frankly that like this is my opinion. You should not store data on a blockchain. You should build the marketplace on the blockchain. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, IPFS has file size limits. Good call out, Ebo. Wolf says, I'm using Rweave for storing some files on chain permanently, though technically it's a block weave, not and not a blockchain. I have heard of Rweave. Uh, File storage limits. Let's see what this is. Total storage is effectively unlimited. The network scales by having miners add more storage, expanding capacity as needed. Individual transaction limits exist, with some reports noting 512 megabytes per transaction. Though bundling techniques on platforms like R-Drive enable uploading significantly larger data. Users pay once per byte of data, which covers the cost of storage for approximately 200 plus years. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's still a lot of opportunities in this space to like explore and find better solutions. I mean, if we could solve for decentralized storage of like 4 gigabyte 1080p videos, and solve the distribution mechanism, so when I like click on a YouTube video, it actually buffers and I can view it in 1080p, then we can actually compete with YouTube, right? We should think about it in those terms, right? Like, if you want to replace money, you have to compete with the user experience of Visa Tap to Pay, right? If you want to replace YouTube, you have to compete with the experience people get on YouTube. You got to provide something better, right? For Quai with Chi, the goal is to create a better experience than Tap to Pay on a Visa terminal, and there's a bunch of angles there. So, Matt, isn't Quai also virtually infinitely scalable up to the point of amount of zones cannot be handled by the amount of hardware worldwide? Uh, these lives always get me to go and do some more work on your product. Yeah, so Quai is technically infinitely scalable in terms of transaction throughput. Um, Now, there is a limit to the block size, right? If there was no limit to the block size, then we would not know when to create additional shards, right? Um, there's also, you know, limits to the internet and what you can actually shove through a fiber line, and not everybody has access to fiber. Um, so all those, what do you call them? I just lost my words. All those bounds on like performance are getting wider. Um, but there's diminishing returns on those innovations, right? So let me know when, you know, we find a way to network faster than the speed of light. And let me know when we find a way to get, I don't know, like SSD, NVMe, M2 chips in every single computer that's ever existed, right? So the internet is pretty much like at its capacity in terms of like how much speed we can squeeze out of light down a fiber line. Storage has some ways to go, but that's getting very, very scalable. Storage is not cheap, right, guys? Like when you're talking about the most efficient storage out there, I mean, 1 terabyte is still 250 bucks at Best Buy right now. Okay, this is probably the best storage product that's ever existed for consumers, and it is not cheap, right? So how many videos can you fit on 1 terabyte, right? Like, and how much does YouTube hold right now? Now you're also talking about streaming in 4K or at least 1080p. Not every node is going to want to make this investment to host that data if there's not a marketplace for it, right? So it sounds like Arweave is trying to build a better marketplace for storage than what Filecoin created with IPFS, right? So, um, yeah, tip of the hat to anybody trying to solve this solution. But I would analyze it in comparison to like the experience you have on YouTube. Like if you can provide me a better YouTube experience on a decentralized network, you're winning, right? But if you're not there yet, um, then you know you got a ways to go, right? If your blockchain doesn't solve for that experience or doesn't create the opportunity for applications to solve that experience, then you're probably just a pump and dump scheme trying to make some money off of a VC's back. So that's my hot take there. Evo says he thinks about the 10 million TPS. We will be maxed out and have agentic micropayments 24/7. Yeah, possibly. I mean, agents are definitely going to participate in the economy. I think the question is, you know, at what scale is still to be determined. Let me check back in on this doc real quick. Alright. Alright. Nice. Okay, so we gotta get this doc pushed. Get add dot, get commit, adding coin X to sex lists. Get push. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's go back to GitHub here. Refresh. There we go. Alright. Pull request incoming, Shikara. X2 sex list. Boom. Challenge accepted. Double D says, hold my beer. I mean, the beautiful thing is, guys, is that you know, once you solve for the transfer of value, all sorts of markets can be created. All sorts of markets can be created, right? Um, so, I mean, ultimately, like, the value has to be transferred at the scale that people demand today, with the utility that people demand today. So, like, once you solve for a better experience than Visa, MasterCard, Tap to Pay, with the US dollar, the sky's the limit, right? And so Dr. K says this all the time. He's like, people in crypto come to me with like all these ideas on that, you know, that blockchains could enable. But like if you don't solve for the marketplace interacting, you know, with the same speed and utility as Visa, MasterCard, then you're gonna end up in a freaking bottleneck, regardless. So you got to solve for that first, and then all these other marketplaces become, you know, realistically feasible. So I'll just say that. Coin X, 2 docs. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Wolf says Arweave is more about permanent storage, so once it's uploaded, I can't read that. Hold on. It's there and no one can change it or delete it. It stays forever there. It's not suitable for everything, but perfect for things like NFTs or archiving things. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, like, NFTs need something like Arweave or IPFS. Just like full stop, right? Like the blockchain and the assets on the blockchain are supposed to be immutable, right? But if the value of the NFT is an image or it's, you know, metadata about a physical asset, or it's you know, a license, or you know, anything other than just like a token on a blockchain, like that utility that goes with the NFT. Ebo, we were talking about this. The utility that the NFT is supposed to deliver, that utility has to be immutable because that's what people are expecting from a blockchain. So yes, NFTs absolutely need things like Arweave and IPFS. And like that's a very valid solution. Um, what you run into when you're like building out that solution is distribution, right? Okay, like cool. I just stored my image on Arweave or IPFS. Now, how do people actually get it? Like how do I show people the art or the utility? How are people actually accessing that utility to the NFT? With IPFS, you know, you gotta have it pinned, so it actually propagates the IPFS network, and then you have to have somebody hosting a gateway that anybody can query to get that data, right? So we're lucky that IPFS.io lets pretty much anybody query it, right? So like if I go to the emojis, I think it's the emojis. Yeah, let's connect my wallet here. Oh man, I gotta log in. Connect. So what do I have here? So I have 5 NFTs. I don't even, do I have? Well, I'll just look up one of the NFTs. So I'm gonna enter token ID 1. Okay, here's an IPFS URL that I can't read. But if it's an IPFS URL, right? Now I have an IPFS URL, I need to be able to like actually see this information, right? So I need a gateway that's willing to like serve me this data, right? And what I mean is we're lucky that IPFS.io lets anybody query this data and get the information, right? And so we can see this is the metadata for the NFT. It has an image tag. So now I can replace this on the IPFS IO URL here and get the actual image. But if nobody's providing this gateway, this HTTPS gateway, like how am I going to get this data? I'm going to have to provide the gateway and let anybody access it. So now I'm hosting the infrastructure. Or, you know, I'm paying somebody to provide this, right? Now, how is IPFS.io making money and like paying their bills? I have no idea. So is that a risk? I don't know. I don't know anything about IPFS.io. But you know, it's something that you have to solve. So, you know, this app right now does not show you the image, right? But because there is somebody providing a distribution channel, this app totally could show you the image. It could have you query IPFS.io, right? There's other services out there. Some you can pay for. If you don't want to depend on IPFS.io, some you can host your own. Yeah, that's things you have to consider. Are you providing that? Like, how do I get that YouTube-like experience, or how do I get that amazing user experience that can compete with the centralized platforms? That's what we should be thinking about here. Oh man, I'm missing out on some of the chat. Hold on. Wolf says protecting kids from adult content has been just an excuse for powers that be to spy on us. Wolf says I even still have some Quai on CoinX, but not much. Not your wallet, not your coins. Yeah. Not your keys, not your crypto. Wolf says he remembers a few NFT marketplaces that stored the content on centralized solutions and it didn't end well. Yeah, Nike's NFT, right? Share feedback on my Joe Doe. I have never seen you around before and you have 0 followers. I'm not clicking on this link. Sorry. Not sorry. Yeah, 0 followers, verified account, and I've literally never seen you before ever. So, yeah, let me know what you're talking about, and maybe I'll entertain it. But for joining the chat, Joe Doe, we'll get you hooked up with some Quai, man. That's the way we do around here. Oh, okay. All right. If Ebo vets you, man. If Ebo vets you, that's how we roll around here. Joe, you need to post something, man. Here we go. We'll get you hooked up, Joe. Here we go. Joe built a donation button. Well, all right. We'll check this out. Quai donation button builder. One link, one wallet, one tap. Nice, man. Nice, man. Let's try. Let's try. Let me snag my burner address here. Hold on. This is cool. Let's check this out. Nice. 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 Suggested amount. 5, 10, 25. Connect Pelagus before generating the public link. Okay. I'll connect Pelagus. I wonder why I have to connect Pelagus though. Oh, connected wallet does not match the Quai receiving address. Okay, a little bit of verification there. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, make sure the people creating buttons actually own the wallets that they're creating. Nice, man. Not bad. Not bad. Welcome, Joe Doe. I like this graphic too. This is a good visual experience here. This is a good visual experience. I like it, man. I like it, man. Good work. Good work. Yeah, no sweat, man. Sorry for the hesitation. I hope you understand, but you got a friend in chat. That's how we roll around here. The community vets. The community vets. Evo's got the battle scars to prove it. Having gotten banned from the Discord at least once. I did not know that, Evo. I'm sorry, man. That must have been a terrible experience, but it's absolutely hilarious. I'm so glad you're back though. Welcome back, man. Welcome back, man. Alright, so this announcement should have gone through. Let's check the overview real quick. Do not join this DAO. This is a test DAO only. Okay, cool beans. Cool beans. Alright, let's view all proposals here. Man, Claude is a little slow today. We're having it chunk on something pretty big right now, though. Oh, I'm sorry, man. This is actually like I might be remembering this challenge. Yeesh. A year ago this time, it was crazy days in crypto, guys. Anybody remember Kaido? Man, Kaido almost broke crypto Twitter. That was bad. That was bad. You know, one of the things that I don't think people realize about Quai Network is like how long it's been around. So let's see here. What was it? Yaps.kaido.ai. So, you know, I think it was like 3 or 4 years of like multiple test nets going into mainnet, y'all. And you know, we needed people to participate in those test nets, right? So these were incentivized test nets. If you were mining during Iron Age or Golden Age, or I think there was even like a Stone Age, right? We might have skipped Silver or something like that. There was like 3 or 4 test nets. So if you were mining during those test nets, if you were building dApps, helping us prove out our SDKs, our EVM, our, you know, wallet function, like all that jazz, like you were rewarded for participating in those test nets, right? We had to incentivize it in order to get value out of those test nets. You know, and then along the way, in order to get distribution, we had to be listed on centralized exchanges, right? And, you know, at the time and still to this day, like, especially for a proof of work token, it's a decent amount of development work for a centralized exchange to list a token. Okay, so as a centralized exchange, you got to make a business decision. There's millions of fucking tokens out there that all want to get listed. Like, how do you decide which token to list, which ones to, like, you know, pay your engineers to like work on, and which ones you don't? You have to make sure that there's going to be volume in trading on your centralized exchange. And the only way to estimate or forecast potential profit from listing a token is to look at their engagement on their Discord and their X account, right? Because like crypto traders don't exist anywhere else. And so in order to help us get listed sooner with better terms, obviously we ran some social media programs to incentivize people to help raise awareness and generate that activity. And that went a really long ways, right? We were listed out the gate on a number of exchanges. And, you know, now we're looking at our first US exchange right around the corner, which is going to unlock even more exchanges. more distribution, right? So we had to like reward all those people. Um, and Kaido shows up out of nowhere towards the near the end of Golden Age, um, with this frankly like genius way of measuring mindshare in crypto, not just among crypto projects, but also among like influencers and opinion leaders in the space. And it became something that like everybody was looking at to measure potential market share. And so like we had to drive our metrics on Kaido. And so we were actually like one of the first blockchains to actually partner with Kaido for incentivized rewards. So uh, maybe a little sorry that we kind of created this trend, but also not sorry because we were the first to dip as soon as it went off the rails. Um, but man, airdrop farming was like at its fucking peak in late 2024, especially with Kaido and Yaps and all this jazz. And so post TGE, it was fucking chaos in our Discord server, guys. And so sincere apologies, Evo, but hopefully that helps you wrap your head around all the craziness we were doing. And at the same time, right, the legislation here in America for what we were allowed to do and not allowed to do was up in the air. So we took the safe route, you know, offloading KYC onto a third party, providing support for all of that, and then like before the end of it, like we didn't have to do KYC anymore, so we yanked that. It was a mess, man. But tip of the hat to you for bearing with that. Appreciate it, man. I'm missing out on some chats here. Let's see here. Wolf says, speaking of Claude, if you can reveal it, Matt, how many tokens have you used this month, and with which Claude model, if you know by chance? I'm asking because I was thinking about pro subscription and not sure how much usage I will get from that. Yeah, good question. I definitely use the pro subscription. I pay $100 a month for it, and I will say I maximize my usage out of it. I am grinding a lot, pretty much every day of the week. Some days I will run out of tokens, but I usually, like, Claude usually resets my tokens like 3 to 4 hours later, so it kind of forces me to like take a break. Peace out, Evo. Have a good evening, sir. Don't stay up too late, man. Don't work too hard. Anyways, if you can't afford the Claude Pro subscription, highly recommend you check out Cursor. Okay, guys, Cursor is a dark horse in this AI coding space. I bought the annual plan for 20 bucks a month almost a year ago now. And when I run out of tokens, but I have something small that I need to build real quick, I go back to Cursor and I'm just blown away by how good it is. Not only is it really good, it's also very fucking fast. Very fast. Let's see if I can find it real quick. There's a new model out too. Claude versus Cursor. So, come on, X. Yeah, let's just Google this. Claude versus Cursor. Cursor versus Claude Code. This was 4 months ago. Okay, so This is actually really good analysis. Now it is a little dated. Cursor's got newer models now. Where it shines, when you're in a flow state cranking out code, you know what you want to build, just need to type it fast. Inline suggestions means you barely lift your hands from the keyboard. Build a dashboard in 2 hours that normally takes 4. Where it struggles, less helpful when you're figuring out complex problems. Needs hand holding for completely new features. Yeah, I guess this guy ran into a payment bug. Yeah, so Claude Code is great for autonomous building. So autonomous tasks you don't want to think about. Ask, prompts like add authentication to admin panel, all done. Um, it's slower at, most tasks compared to Cursor. Um, and it's very difficult to like see the changes that it made and why. And it can get confused sometimes. I've run into that. So this guy actually uses both. He uses Cursor and Claude. I will say though, like, you should not run out of tokens, and if you do, you need to take a break. Like, if you're paying the $100 a month for Claude Pro, you will not run out of tokens if you're casually building things. If you were grinding all day long, you will run out of tokens, and that's fine because you need to step away from your computer anyways and go get some sunshine, touch grass, etc. But if the $100 a month price point is too much for you, and you're already, really good at architecting, or, use another model, right, for free, like Gemini or, maybe even ChatGPT or even the cheaper version of Claude for architecting something or creating, design documentation, then use Cursor to like go build it much faster than Claude ever could. Cursor is insanely fast, insanely fast. Like, literally calls it out in this document. Claude takes 3 to 5 minutes, where Cursor takes 30 fucking seconds. So, yeah, I've been using Claude mostly lately because I'm building something from scratch that I've never built before, and I really, really like how well Claude writes out the plan. I can audit the plan. I can, work through like complex architecture design. But when it's actually like writing code, it seems so much slower than Cursor. But yeah, hopefully that helps, Wolf. I definitely only run out of tokens on Claude Pro when I've been spending too much time in front of my computer. So that's that. To check back in over here, we actually just asked Claude. I said, okay, so the navigators have the ability to whitelist addresses at configuration deployment. We need to support this in the navigator deployment flow, inspect the contracts to understand how this is done, and plan an implementation via front-end developer and security engineer agents. Rock on, Wolf. Yeah, I highly recommend purchasing something. Like, if you want to build, use one of the, one of the big guys. I have used Minimax and Kimi a lot in OpenClaw, and they're just not that good. They require a lot of hand-holding, and they make a lot of mistakes. Claude was able to basically one-shot my Quasdac trader, and Cursor's just out of this world. I honestly like don't really like Codex. I haven't used it that much, frankly. I don't feel like paying for it. I already got Cursor and Claude, so. Anyways, so yeah, I asked Claude to activate 2 different types of agents to plan out an implementation. for this whitelist for these navigators. And it basically discovered the contracts use single hash leaves. This means we cannot use Open Zeppelin's standard Merkle tree, which double hashes. We need a custom tree with sorted pair internal nodes and single hash leaves. Here's the consolidated plan. So what I typically do when it says we cannot use Open Zeppelin standard Merkle tree is I'll go to the contract repo and I'll put this in the contract repo and I'll say I'm planning to implement whitelists on the front end and discovered the following, yada yada. Is this true? Can you validate? Is there any reason why the navigators don't support the standard Merkle tree double hash? Is supporting this ideal or no? And we'll see what Claude says back. So, doing this in another window right now. Okay, so already responding. Our navigator is single hash of the raw address. Double hash with ABI encoding not packed. The double hash prevents second pre-image attacks where a crafted leaf could look like an internal node. The security concern is real. With single hash leaves, the tree has exactly two addresses that hash to value matching an internal node's hash. An attacker could forge a proof. This is the second re-image attack on Merkle trees. Open Zeppelin's standard Merkle tree double hashes specifically prevent this. In practice, the attack requires finding a pre-image collision, which is computationally infeasible, but the double hash pattern is defense in-depth standard, and more importantly, using it lets the front end use Oz as the standard Merkle tree library directly instead of maintaining custom tree implementation. The fix is one line per navigator. Change the leaf hash. Note abi.encode matches and is Oz's double hash pattern. Should we change it? Yes. Front end DX directly instead of custom tree. Security, defense in depth, ecosystem compatibility. Any tool that generates Oz compatible Merkle trees will work out of the box. No downside. 200 extra gas per onboard, negligible. Want me to implement the change? Yes, let's implement the change. Cool. So we're making our navigators more secure, even though it's computationally infeasible to attack this. Why not? Why not? So, cool. We got this plan here. We'll hang on to this. We'll let the contract project update the navigators. It's also going to update tests for new leaf hashing. Compile and run the full suite. Cool. Cool. One step closer, y'all. One step closer. Meanwhile, let's check back in with the community here. Yesterday, we ran into an issue with gas estimation when doing a delegate call to a multi-sen to add members to the DAO. This was something that I don't believe I experienced in the past, and there was an upgrade to Orchard recently. So I was asking the team about it, and Jonathan responded asking us why we're using a try catch in the DAO. So I actually updated our initial analysis. Let's pull this up. And we learned something. So we learned that this is what we're doing here is actually a common pattern. And while this might be super boring to you guys, it's super interesting to me. But ultimately, Jonathan was, interested in why we were using a try catch in our solidity. It's not typical for people to write try catches in their solidity, but vaults and DAOs are unique creatures, right? So this is what we came up with. Let's zoom in a little bit here. So the try catch around exec transaction for module is deliberate necessary design choice, not a workaround. Without the try catch, the inner governance action reverts for any reason: out of gas, bad call data, vault misconfiguration, or a bug in the action itself. The entire process proposal transaction reverts. This means the proposal is never marked as processed. It stays in ready state permanently. Anyone can keep retrying burning gas with the same result. If the action is permanently broken, the proposal becomes a zombie, passed but unprocessable, blocking governance attention indefinitely, and there is no on-chain record of what happened. The proposal just sits in ready forever with no indication of why it can't be processed. So we add the try catch to consume the proposal. Governance moves on, and the failure is visible on-chain via the process proposal event. The DAO can submit a new proposal to retry the action if desired. This is industry precedent. Okay, so this is a standard pattern in production governance contracts. Gnosis Safe does this. Open Zeppelin's governor does this, and the Moloch DAO also does this. So this is a gas estimation issue at the EVM level. Ultimately, EVMs are not inspecting for try catch and estimating the success path. It just estimates the failure path. And so what typically happens is everybody, including all front ends implementing DAOs and vaults, always apply a gas buffer for these situations. So the main issue here is predicting the transactions that will be submitted to the vault or the DAO via proposals, right? The fact is like we cannot predict the transaction that's being submitted to, because we also do this in Quai Vault, right? Quai Vault and DAO ships now. We can't predict the transaction that's going to be submitted. And because we can't predict the transaction that's going to be submitted, we can't, deterministically react to reverted transactions. So we just have to flag that the transaction failed and process it regardless. If we did not do this, then there would be stale transactions or zombie transactions in both the queue of Quai Vault and proposals in the DAO. So not an issue for Quai. Standard pattern, not something worth addressing by GoQuai, but something that basically everybody has to deal with when they can't predict what the transaction is. So, what up, Check Raise? Welcome to the chat. Let's get you hooked up, good sir. Nice. Looks like our docs are updated too. Welcome back, Evo. Man, I can't find anybody in my search anymore. What's going on here? Look at this. None of my peeps are showing up in my search. X is not my friend anymore. Check raise. I'm just gonna keep tipping this tweet till the end of time. X is busted. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, man. Nobody's coming up in my search. Nobody. Nice. Alright, looks like our doc is in, guys. So if we go to docs.q.ai, we should see Coinex in the list now. There it is. Coinex in the list. Like it. Like it. Alright. Okay. Alright, so we just fixed the navigators. Cool beans. Cool beans. So, that was quick. No, we just updated the navigator contracts to support Oz's standard Merkle tree. The project reports. We should update our ABIs and IPFS hashes for the navigators. Do you guys see this? Are you gonna puke? Sorta. Don't puke. This carpet. Are you alright? Alright, well. Hopefully the dog doesn't puke. Boom, boom. Alright. So we were gonna have to... Christopher says it happens. We're gonna have to update our... Oh, dope. Be right back, guys. I think I just got my fixed power supply for my aquarium light. Boom, boom. Alright. My poor fish. They're freaking suffering under blinking lights right now. Freaking power supply broke. Well, we'll get them hooked up later. If I was living underneath that aquarium light, I'd be freaking banging my head against the glass. Thing's literally like flickering all day long. Alright. Yes, yes, yes. 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 Nice. Alright. Let's get these navigators updated, yo. Yes. Yes. Nice. Alright. Alright. Let's audit the plan for the allow list feature. Make sure we're addressing all gaps and identifying the new standard Merkle tree implementation. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll see here. Black Cat wants a tangent wallet. Black Cat wants the tangent wallet. What time is it? Man, we usually get the airdrop farmers by now. Did I scare them away? Did we scare away the airdrop farmers? Yeah. Good riddance. Be gone, bots. Shoo shoo. Ugh. Meanwhile, what should we do next? What should we do next? I feel like I need to. So, if you guys haven't noticed, we got a GitHub repo up for DAO ships. Alright. So you guys can follow along on GitHub now under the DAO ships project. I swear, one of these dogs is about to puke in my room. We need to upload a new picture. I wonder if I can upload an SVG here. Let's try uploading an SVG. App, public, logos, dark, transparent. Can we open this? Only support PNG, GIF. Or JPEGs. Alright, so we're gonna have to convert. Let's do SVG to PNG. Let's select the file here. Let's do dark transparent one. Open, convert, save. There we go. Let's try uploading this bad boy. There we go. Boom. Alright. DAO ships has a PNG now. Maybe. Update profile. I said update profile. Oh man. There it is. Boom. Got a picture up. Alright. We got a plan. Cool. 4 phases. Phases 2, 3, and 4 can be paralyzed once phase 1 is complete. Yes, start implementing. Implement the plan! We might have to read this. Hold up. Hold up. Somebody's accusing Vitalik of running a scam here. Vitalik Buterin ran a quantum computer scan. Yeah, whatever. Says Vitalik's project immediately before Ethereum is that he was collecting investments from people to fund building a computer program to solve NP-complete problems in polynomial time, supposedly by simulating a quantum computer. Never mind that even real QC are conjectured to be able to do that. Nor does simulation make any sense unless it's not even possible, and virtually all experts agree complexity classes are probably not equivalent. He built up a reputation for himself writing tech explainers of other people's ideas, usually without any attribution, until someone complains, making him look like the author. Whatevs. Whatevs. Create you. All right, so we gotta prep for this here. We gotta prep for testing this. So I need. We need to drop this list of members down to just Alice and Bob. Let's rage quit. Burn all shares and loot. No tokens selected. Can I select tokens? Yeah, I can. Okay, but we don't care about this. Let's rage quit. Carol here. Oh, I'm gonna enter my password. Ha! First time. Boom. Alright, rage quit complete. Let's switch to Earl. We'll have Earl rage quit. Burn all shares. Let's not take any tokens with us. Rage quit. Done. Oh my gosh, we got the freaking Crystal song again. Who's making these crazy songs? Rick. Rick will rage quit. Burn all shares and loot. Dow will keep their tokens. Done. Alright. Just Bob and Alice remain. Nice. Alright. We go to overview. That's not correct. What's going on here? Is that right? Are we not burning shares? No? We're burning shares. Treasury? Interesting. Let me make a note. We got two things here. After a user delegates or rage quits on the members page, we need to make sure the members list updates. After a member rage quits or shares are burned, we need to make sure total shares is being updated. But we want to confirm this is actually happening on chain here. Let's go to settings, shares token. You guys seeing this? Total supply is 200. Yeah, so those shares are definitely being burned. We do not have 655 shares. That's wrong. Alright, so VS Code is ready for phase 2 deployment. Continue. What else is on our scratch pad here? Yeah, we solved that one. Yeah, alright. We got 3 items on our scratch pad here to work through later. I have to say, guys, this Hyperland window manager is freaking gorgeous. Let's make this a little bigger. I'm really liking it. It does kind of mess with the stream a little bit. Like it's more secure. So I have to like give other apps permissions to like view other windows, which is actually a good thing. And the window sizing in my OBS view here is kind of a pain in the butt since it's a tiling window manager, but overall, amazing experience when not streaming, especially. And I really like this. You guys can't see it, but having like a scratch pad workspace that I can quickly pivot to from any other workspace is a huge value add. I don't know why other window managers don't support that. Tiling window managers do, but floating window managers not so much. Oh! I just broke the music. Why did I do that? Oh, do I gotta start this all over? Yeah, we'll try this one. Yeah, we'll go with that one. Why did I break the music? The thing was about to drop, too. New AI doc video coming out. You guys want to preview this with me? Let's check this out.
On AI risk who don't.
If this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
Your fear of AI
is the collapse of humanity.
Well, not the collapse, the abrupt extermination. There's a difference.
So they started making this movie because my wife is 6 months pregnant.
is now a terrible time to have a kid.
I mean, I'll just be honest. I know people who work on AI risk who don't expect their children to make it to high school.
What the
That's a little intense.
understand pretty much everything.
It's surprisingly straightforward.
Intelligence is about recognizing patterns.
Patterns.
Patterns. If you have learned those patterns, you can generate new information. AI is moving so fast.
It's being deployed prematurely. There's so much potential for things to go wrong.
Why can't we just stop?
All these companies are in a race to get AI.
That's vastly more intelligent than people within this decade.
China, North Korea, Russia.
Whoever wins is essentially the controller of humankind.
We need to take the threat from AI as seriously as global nuclear war.
It feels like I have to find these CEOs and get them in the movie.
Great.
I want to ask you to promise me that this is going to go well.
That is impossible.
Okay. Am I hopeful? Yes. Am I confident that it'll go right? Absolutely not.
AI is the thing that can solve climate change.
We could cure most diseases.
What if it's expanding what is humanly possible?
This is the most extraordinary time ever. The only time more exciting than today is tomorrow.
I already love you.
Okay.
I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
By using AI, we're about to move off of the Earth into the cosmos.
If we can be the most mature version of ourselves, there might be a way through this.
This is the last mistake we'll ever get to make.
Interesting. Oops, wrong button. Oh man. Christopher, are you tuning in? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? It reminds me of the Age of Disclosure doc that I still haven't seen. Supposedly Spielberg's coming out with a doc now. Spielberg, Day of Disclosure. I think that's what it's called. No, Disclosure Day. That's what it's called. Here, let's watch this.
What did you steal?
Secrets.
Oh, it's a fiction.
Paid me to protect.
Are they people?
Oh, Spielberg. I love it.
Today's.
Do you understand what she's saying?
I hear her. It's gibberish. I can't understand it.
And I can.
What's happening to me?
People are starved for the truth.
I'm a part of it now. I'm just sorry they made you a part of it too.
Hello, Jane. Please. Have a seat.
This 79-year terror campaign of lies has to end.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world.
That truth will upend all established order across the entire world. If you do this, there's no undoing it.
Why would they do this?
When the time is right,
everything will become clear.
Whatever happens, don't you let go.
Interesting. Let's see here. I just think it's ironic that's coming out shortly after, what was it? The doc, Age of Disclosure. Somebody's talking about this one a whole lot. Yeah, I still haven't seen this. Supposedly it's a good one.
We've had repeated
Aliens? Huh? What do you guys think?
instances of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours.
These are otherworldly things that are performing maneuvers that haven't been seen.
I have seen with my own eyes non-human craft and non-human beings.
This is so secret. There have been very few people in our entire government that have been allowed or provided access to it.
Even presidents have been operating on a need-to-know basis, but that begins to ramp out of control.
It's not acceptable to have secret parts of government that no one ever sees. People have been hurt protecting and hiding this information.
Some people claim it would cost them their lives if they spoke out about these things.
You had information being locked away that could change the trajectory for a species.
This is the biggest discovery in human history.
Maybe. Maybe. I believe in aliens, but I won't say, what evidence I believe in and which ones I don't. I think that's difficult to parse right now. What up, Irit? Welcome to the chat. I called you out yesterday. Have you figured out how to prove that you are not Denvium, Trexium, Kelly, and OX Badtie? Let me know. All right, guys. Looks like the navigator allow list has been implemented. Dope, 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 dope. Let's try this out. Let's restart the server here. And fire up the DAO launcher over here. Oh my gosh. These dogs, man. Actually, before we do this, this is going to drive me crazy. Let's work on this. Fix that total shares list. Christopher says aliens are definitely real. The question is if they are God. or angels, right? I think what's his name? Gosh dang, Sora. You're interrupting my flow here. Are you alright? The question is whether or not who is it? Oh shoot, what's his name? Tucker Carlson. I think he thinks that aliens are angels. That's hilarious. Okay. Yeah, we're fixing. Clean compile. Here's what's fixed. All right. Okay. Well, this DAO is still showing 65 shares on details page overview, but real total is 200. Stop. Let's validate first by checking the database. We might have an indexer issue. Might have an indexer issue. Yada yada yada. Yeah, you need to set the schema. What up, DenVM? You guys, I'm telling you, you've been blacklisted. Irit, DenVM, OX Bad Tie, Trexium, and Kelly. You guys have to prove to me that you are 5 unique individuals. If you do so, you each earn 100 Quai. But until you do, I'm officially done handing out free Quai to you guys. Alright. Stopped. Well, we might have an indexer issue. Looks like we're not updating a DAO's total shares when shares are burned via rage quit or other mechanisms. Let's verify. Okay, then explain to me why this DAO what we have recorded for total shares for this DAO. Run the curl. Hmm. Yep, you're wrong. Do 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 do. Indexer bug. RPC is not down. Updating tests. Running unit tests. Alright. Bug confirmed. The contract's rage quit function calls shares token.burn, loots tokens.burn directly but does not emit burn shares, burn loot events. It only emits transfer. The handler's comment claiming DAO totalers was wrong. Fix. Handle rage quit now decrements total shares and total loot using subtract numeric strings floored based on shares to burn, loot to burn values from the event. For the DAO, the member shares sum to 200, but total shares stuck at 655. Okay. Alright, I'll need to rerun the indexer. Okay, no sweat. No sweat. Let's see. There they are. There's all the farmers. Guys, I called you out yesterday. You got work to do if you want to earn your Quai. To reiterate, let's pull up the doc. Okay. I'm a man of my word. I threw you up on the list, but then you satisfied my requests, and I pulled you off the list. You guys are putting in minimal freaking effort here, and you're draining my wallet of Quai that belong to better people at this point. So, farmers, stream farmers, here are the deets, guys. Let me zoom in so you can read this, okay? List of suspected farmers. X accounts that are highly suspect of being a single individual. If all accounts related to a single individual can prove they are separate individuals, I will give all of you guys 100 Quai. All accounts must prove unique humanness. Until then, no more free Quai on stream. Trexium, Kelly, OX Badtie, Denvium, and Irit. You have been flagged. You have been flagged. I don't even know why I'm giving Kelly Quai. I mean, it's clear that they're, impersonating somebody else, and it's not working out for them in the long run. They don't even have like 100 followers, so Just wasting our time, guys. Just wasting our time. So sorry, not sorry, but if you prove you're unique individuals, we'll address it. Meanwhile, let me reset the database here and get the indexer fired back up. Super base. Is this the project I want? I don't think so. Yeah, this is the right project. Let's go to SQL editor. There we go. Dropping the schema. Creating the schema. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rebuild the indexer and run it again. It'll have to do a backfill. We're backfilling. We're backfilling. Looks like Japan's waking up. What up, Japan? Let's go, guys. Using the bridge. That's what's up. Fire. We gotta pull up some docs for these guys. Stand by 1 second. Q.ai blog. There we go. Nice. Nice. All right. Yeah, we gotta let this indexer catch back up, y'all. See if we fix this indexer issue here. It was not properly deducting shares from the database when a rage quit happened. So we'll check in on that. Yeah, we can't really interact with it until the indexer is caught up. Meanwhile, I gotta take a quick bathroom break. Be right back, folks. All right. 54% synced. Music. So, farmers, anything to say? Any thoughts? All right. Or should I say farmer? Do you have any thoughts? Anything to add? Do you want to defend your position? You have any value to add here? Yeah, man, we're coming up on time. I'm gonna have to drive the fiance to yoga here in a few minutes, but want to get at least one more issue fixed here before we go. What time is it out there in the Netherlands, Ebo? You're grinding too, man. %70 indexed. 12 a.m. It's freaking midnight out at the Netherlands. Ebo, did you know that the Netherlands, Amsterdam specifically, started the first stock exchange in the modern world? It's one of those fun facts I love to know and tell. Guess your age. 23. 23, 24. Am I close? Let me know how far off I am. New York was first New Amsterdam. Another fun fact to know and tell. Oh man, X is so freaking laggy. I don't know why. 19! Congratulations, man. That Somalian resourcefulness, dare I say. But wait, you're not Somalian, right? I don't remember, man. I'm sorry. You like Somalian food. I know that for sure. And some of your family members do run daycares. Just the cooking. All right. Oh man. There we go. All right, we're backfilled. Let's see. Let's see if this refresh fixes us here. 200 shares. There we go. There we go. All right. So what do we need to do here? We need, first of all, let's disable these navigators. Let's disable these navigators. We got to disable. And I am not a member. So I gotta switch to a member here. Let's switch to Bob. Disable, disable. What's going on here? Navigators. Disable, disable. How come I can't can I only do one at a time? Disable. Disable. How come I can't click? Oh, ah, disable old navigators. Please. That's why I can't submit. Alright, now let's submit. Sign. You need a proposal title and description. Dirt. Alright. Vote yes. There we go. Alright, it's on chain now. Vote yes. Let's go. Skip. We don't care about that. Did we get quorum with this vote? Yeah, quorum reached. Quorum reached. We might as well. Screw it. Why not? We'll have Alice vote yes. Skip. Alice votes. Okay. Cool. So the way this is gonna work is once. Oh, so you are Somali. Okay. But born and raised in the Netherlands, studied abroad for high school. That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Mad respect. The first generation of immigrants, I would say, are typically the most resourceful. So I would say it is what's the word I'm looking for? Not surprising to me that you're acquiring your degree at 19 years old. Not surprising at all. The West is full of lazy, spoiled brats comparatively, but that's just my 2 cents. That's just my 2 cents. But tip of the hat to you, man. Hyper competitive, grinding on probably more fronts than we can count. So appreciate you, man. Appreciate you hanging out, building on Quai Network. Making the community more fun all around, taking one on the chin during airdrop season, accidentally getting banned from the Discord. I'm just gonna blame Veronica for that one. Yeah, no, man, you'll outpace most of Western society quickly in your early 20s if you keep it up, bro. And then one day, at the first Quai festival, all the OGs, Ebo, King Dan, the man with the mining plan, we'll all have a good time together. I'm looking forward to it. We gotta get through this burning of all the vaporware first. Never participated in the airdrop. No, you just showed up at the freaking peak chaos. If it was a year ago this time. Oh man. February, March. We're busy days. Busy days. Alright, 1 minute. And then a grace period and we can process this thing. Meanwhile, you know what we can do? We can actually add a navigator. Let's add a navigator here. Fixed price, 1 Quai per 1 share. Let's go to advanced settings. Nice. Address allow list. Okay, so we are only going to allow Carol to onboard here. Let's do it. Only Carol can buy shares. Nice. Boom, boom. Of course, Ebo. Appreciate you, man. You keep it up. It'll be good to chat with you next Tuesday as well. And the next time we're streaming. So, good work, man. Good work. Alright, new navigator, manager, submit navigator proposal. Wait a second, wait a second. Register navigator. Okay. Let's submit this proposal. Sign. Cool beans. We'll vote yes on this. Guys, we might be able to test this before I have to bounce. I'm super pumped. Did that reach quorum? That should have reached quorum. Yeah, that's quorum. Okay. Let's add another navigator. Let's add this ERC20 navigator. This is a specific token though, so I think it's Quai token DAP. Yeah. What? Connect wallet. Connect. This contract address. 1 price per share. Allow list. So now let's allow. That's Carol. I think this was like Earl or Rick. Dope. Sign. Supposedly we have the app option to download these whitelists too. That's good old Claude for you. Boom. Okay. Vote yes. Sign. Skip. Cool. Let's go to proposals. Disabled navigator, ready to process. Let's process that. Processed. Navigator set updated. Meanwhile, the indexer is recording the process success or failure. Previous proposals have failed. Let's make sure we're elevating that in the UI along with process status. Cool. Back to proposals. These are voting. Quorum is reached. Yeah, these ones failed. This one processed, but I'm not actually seeing the results banner. It says it's there, but I'm not seeing it. There we go. It's updating. There we go. Alright. Action failed. Nice. Action failed, action failed. There we go. Alright. Cool. Cool. Alright, this one is about to go to grace period. Cool beans. And then we'll be able to test the whitelist. Sleep well, Ebo. Looking forward to the first Quai festival, y'all. That'll be a good time. Let me check my bullet list here. Quai Nation. Done. Bug list, working on it. Japan, working on it. Crypto rank, working on it. ICO drops, working on it. Working on that. Crypto rank. This is done. This is working. And done. Alright. We had a good day today, guys. Good day today. This one's ready. Let's process. Keep your eyes peeled to the indexer. Transaction success. Navigator set. Cool. Processed. Voting. Gonna process this one. Meanwhile, we can go to navigators. We can see these are disabled. An onboarder navigator is here. Allow list data is unavailable. Do we depend on the for navigator allow lists? Where do we expect the proofs to be stored? I just deployed one with an allow list, but it says fetches the tree dump from the indexer. Oh, stop. No, let's not implement a local storage cache as a fallback. Document what the indexer needs to know to properly catch these events and drop it in DAO ships indexer. Okay, well, that's not gonna work currently. Let's go ahead and process this, but we'll have to resync the indexer again. Okay. Alright, we'll have to get the indexer to work on that. Christopher's linking a tweet here. Let me see if I can snag this link. Oh, links are censored for Twitch users. Yep. Let's check this out. What has Christopher got for us? Yes. Okay, it says done. Do we need to revert our changes for local storage backup? Matt Gates in the house. All right. Pause.
Are not human that have. I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered, and like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating? What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
Yeah, I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted.
Having sex with aliens? Hard to hear. Okay, let me turn this up.
I think the most important information will be the biologics that are not human that have been discovered, and like even some of the briefings that aren't classified just need to be out in the public. I mean, I had someone come and brief me who was in a military uniform, worked for the United States Army, that was briefing me on the locations of hybrid breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create some hybrid race that could engage in intergalactic communication. An actual uniformed member of the United States Army briefed me on that.
Non-human biologics, interracial alien mating? What the F is going on? Look, wait a second. You had whistleblowers tell you this kind of thing? Can you please unpack that?
Yeah, I had a guy who was uniformed. He was a senior enlisted with the United States Army. Came into my office in Crestview, Florida, in a non-classified setting. I had members of my staff there, and what they explained is that the military ran a very secret program where aliens that were living were in forced breeding programs with humans that had been abducted from war zones and from even the caravans of migrants. Now, again, I didn't verify this, but what the whistleblower was telling me is that there were like between 6 and 12 locations around the country where this happened. And what he wanted was a group members of Congress to all show up at the same time at all of these different locations so that any of those activities could not be moved. And of course, it's a physical impossibility to get members of Congress to simultaneously show up at like 8 locations at one time. And so that never occurred.
What do you mean non-human biologics? Like this?
Well, that was the testimony of David Grush before the House Oversight Committee,
Yeah.
which I joined, and
I love these terms.
the testimony was that in crashes of craft that had been recovered by the CIA and through a special program that the CIA had for
Can they just
crash
call
recovery,
it what it is?
that it wasn't just
Typical military, right? Okay, so M&Ms, right? Like we got MRE packages, meals ready to eat, right? Like army food for the field. And on the label for M&Ms, right? They didn't call it M&Ms. They called it pan-coated chocolate discs. Okay. This military loves their very descriptive terms.
you know the
Non-human
hard materials.
biologics.
It was also biologics, but that they couldn't identify a human source of those biologics.
You know, you ever say to your buddy, pass me the pan-coated chocolate discs? Hilarious. Hilarious. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Alright. Alright. We should probably update the poster doc in /DAO ships contracts docs to note this change as well. Alright, let's see here. What time is it? I might have time for this. The indexer has been updated. Wait, do we need to... Do we need to update the database schema? Definitely need to stop the indexer and refresh. Where are we at right now? Drop that. Did the Supabase schema.sql get updated? Doesn't look like it. Okay, alright, so that's good to go. So let's recreate the Supabase schema. We will rebuild the indexer, npm run build, npm run start. We'll let this catch up. We'll check back in on the well, did that even work? Drop db schema. Create db schema. There we go. Okay. All right. Indexer's back up and running. It's got to sync again. Hopefully it'll pick up those poster events. The indexer has been updated. It's backfilling now. Are we sure the poster events were emitted when the navigators were deployed? So we're having the UI verify that the poster events were created. So that might not have happened. So we'll double check that later. But all of this being said, we got to move on to other things, folks. It's been a day. Thanks for hanging out with me. Even those airdrop farmers, we love you guys. You keep it entertaining. Ebo, all of the above. Wolf, you guys absolutely rule. Christopher, thanks for hanging out over on Twitch and sharing this absolutely hilarious video. Yeah, guys, updated some docs today, did some reach outs, got some building done, started documenting some bugs for the team and feature requests from the community to be addressed in all the things that we're building over here. Looking forward to tomorrow's space with Dr. K, the man himself. Tech AMA with Dr. K, do it every Wednesday, so hopefully we'll catch y'all there. With that, folks, as always, make sure you're signed up for Kipper.money. Make sure you're retweeting these streams, gearing up to give away a Quai branded Tangent wallet. Definitely want to get your hands on that. And like always, folks, the easiest way to get your hands on Quai is with Kipper.money. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. You'll get hooked once you give it a shot. Total blast sending Quai around on X. It's super easy. All you got to do is like a tweet and you're sending Quai, sharing the love. So don't miss out. Definitely the easiest way to get your hands on Quai. I'll just tip Alan real quick. Just by liking his post. Just like that. Boom, boom, boom. So, yeah. Actively traded on Mexi, Gate.io, and LBank. If you need even more, Quai team is actively working with Kraken, so you're still early over here at Quai Network. Plenty of places to swap those useless tokens for more useful ones. I'm talking SwapSpace, Let's Exchange, and Change Hero. And thanks to our partners over at Symbiosis, Quai is now bridged to base. Make sure you're double checking those contract addresses and using the official links here in our docs. You can also try one of these decentralized exchanges as well to swap for Quai over on base. You can even buy Quai on base now with CoinDisco. So that's huge. Plenty of ways to get your hands on the good stuff with real fundamentals while the rest of the vaporware and crypto burns away in this bear market. The vibes are fresh over here. We'll see you next time tomorrow in Dr. K's Tech AMA. So with that, folks, have a great evening. We'll see you then. Peace out.